Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday night!
I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I am joined once again by the prolific commenter himself, Zealeus.
Sup? What are we here for?
The Thursday Night Hangout.
Where we talk about cats and Doctor Who, right?
Well, I mean, it could lead to that, but that's not our main focus.
I mean, I wore the shirt on specific orders from you that we're talking about how awesome cats and Doctor Who, we put them together in a giant conflagration of awesomeness.
Yeah, if someone told you that, they must have been impersonating me.
It came from you, yeah.
Nope.
You bribed me. That must have been trickery.
I did not bribe you.
I don't know, man. I think so. There's something sneaky going on.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Ah, your concoction of sugary death.
This should be interesting on my new medication.
I got Julian speed dial if anything happens.
Woohoo! All right, okay.
I can yell really loud.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let us jump right into it. Hey, Leo 123222.
We are on Get High on Life, not on drugs.
It's called caffeine. Super caffeine.
And, well, there's no caffeine in my shock top, but there is brain cells and dopamine, so I'm good to go.
There's also fermented hops.
Well,
and water. And seasoning.
Yes, I'm on drugs of life.
There you go.
Does that count for anything? Because I do not condone illegal drug use, because I work in a school, and that'd be terrible.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it, shall we? The first bit of news that we want to talk about is, I guess, sort of, maybe, possibly, congratulations to Smite. At Hi-Res Studio, they've worked out a deal with Alpha Draft, which, of course, is basically the esports equivalent of
Drafting.
DraftKings.
Fantasy sports.
DraftKings, or there's like a FanDuel. There you go. It's basically you get to select certain individuals from the pro teams and tournaments, and you score points for whatever they do. They've worked out the metric system. They have not released the metric system, at least, but when I wrote the article, they had not released.
Don't they have this for like League of Legends or some other?
Yes, they have it for League of Legends. They have it for Hearthstone, which I still have no freaking clue how the hell you do it for Hearthstone.
No, I wonder.
They got Call of Duty. Not Call of Duty. Yeah. No. Shoot.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike.
No. Global.
Global Agenda.
Not Global Agenda. It's not Call of Duty. It's Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Okay.
And then another game I can't remember off the top of my head.
Now I wonder if,
I think it's Dota 2.
Say you're at, like, Smite World Championship held at the Cobb Energy Center. If you're sitting there, can you, like, use your cell phone to, draft players for monetary potential value in real life?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's what Alpha Draft's all about. I believe they're like any of the online drafting systems. From my understanding, you could play for free, but if you put a little money in, you could win more money back if you play well enough. And of course, with the same thing, it's the same formula as DraftKings. DraftKings, you draft a football team, a baseball team, a basketball team, a soccer team, whatever, a golf team for the duration of the tournament. For basketball and the other sports, it's you keep those characters. You keep those players for a week, and then whoever's got the best, I think, point total, or maybe it's a versus type deal, wins the big prize.
See, here's me just spitballing about drafting and esports. I think by and large, most people don't know shit about esports teams or players. But if you're going to something like, say, the Smart World Championship, or say maybe you see something on ESPN with Heroes of the Storm, you might watch a match or two and think, holy crap, this player Snoopy is epic, man. I want to draft this player.
Right.
Now, if you had to draft it a week ago, you're only going to probably get like your hardcore, like frickin' fans for that activity or sport, whatever we're calling it nowadays.
Right.
Whereas if you can get like almost like lifetime drafting, it's almost like bet on what players are going to do what. Almost like, maybe like a 15-minute before that match starts or something like that. That I could really see drawing people in. If you can do it like right then before the match starts type of deal.
I would assume that there is something like that. I would assume that a lot of I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure a lot of the esports betting would be day of. Toronto rep!
That's far away from us, man.
Hey. Congratulations. I almost went to Toronto once, but my mom wouldn't sign the waiver.
So I kind of
Blue
I actually like the Toronto Maple Leafs now because they stole Mike Babcock from the Detroit Red Wings, and the Red Wings have been my team.
Go Blue Jays. Knock the crap out of the Yankees. Okay, I don't care about baseball, but I hate the Yankees. I grew up hating the Yankees. So anyways.
That was right.
So this is interesting, but I have heard a lot of backlash about Alpha Draft and its influence upon League of Legends. Mm-hmm. What's happened is Riot apparently has put a lot more emphasis since it's getting, they're getting this this extra exposure. They're putting a lot more emphasis on the pro leagues and kind of leaving the casual leagues in the dark. Now, to be totally honest with you, one of the things that you have to think about is we're looking at an esports revolution. What could happen is you could have that true separation from pro and amateur, where there's 32 teams playing football in the National Football League, and then there's the your church league flag football tournaments, where that's a whole different thing. They don't your church league flag football thing is going to get just a little bit of attention, where NFL is everywhere. So I think that a lot of people might be a little scared that this might actually happen to like League of Legends, Dota 2, Smite, where that separation starts pulling. Yes,
well, I know. You already have that with ranked matches. You already have the ranked and seasonal matches for your different MOBAs to do the ranking system. So you can be a casual noob and playing unranked games.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that
hardcore players ranked matches.
What I'm saying is that the company Riot is. What they've been good about is they've been keeping everyone in the loop. Mm-hmm. They've been taking everybody's thoughts and criticisms and all that stuff into effect and doing events that center around the entire world of LoL, instead of, okay, what's going to make our season, our tournament look more shiny so that we can get more people interested, and let's refine it so it's easier to follow, that kind of stuff.
Which I think could be a dangerous path to go down, because I think both the casual players and the pro sports, and that becomes successful, is a very symbiotic relationship.
Right.
Because the reality is, as much as, Ye was on ESPN, let's be realistic. The people who are really going to pay attention to esports are people who play those actual video games.
For now, yes.
For now. So League of Legends, I don't think that's going to change, really. I think something like a League of Legends or any MOBA is a completely different entity than, say, football. I think but
look at poker. I mean, how many people at the beginning were like, well, poker? Why the hell are they doing poker? And then they've got all this crap.
Yeah, but most people who watch poker on TV at least have played poker and have an understanding of poker and how to play it.
Or there's nothing else on TV, so you just kind of zone out to see if the underdog can, blow up the cocky son of a bitch who's just smirking in the corner of the table.
Well, yes, that is Phil Hellmuth to a T. But yes, I don't know. I think esports is. I don't think it's going to succeed. I don't think that particular video game will succeed if they leave the other 95% behind. I think, like, say, League of Legends, say they completely alienated their other 95%. I don't think people would care about their pro league on TV then. Because I think part of it is that playing that game and understanding what's going on that makes people actually care about it. So that would be my potential issue with them alienating the fan base. Is people will stop caring and turn against it, and then they'll move on to something else like a Dota or a Smite or a HOTS.
Mm-hmm. I will be very interested to see. I think that it.
But I think it's also new. It's
right.
I think Riot, they're kind of really at the forefront of the whole. Other companies are doing it, but they're still the biggest. And it's probably trying to find that balance. Mm-hmm. And it's brand new to them. It's not like this has not really been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So you still got to find it.
I agree. So it's good. I will fully admit that I'm interested to see what happens. I hope that I kind of hope that Smite really takes off, because we support the locals. They are in Alpharetta, so for those of you out there who don't know, Smite just released on Xbox One officially. It is the #1 free game on the Xbox Marketplace right now. So go download it. Have a lot of fun. Tinker around with it. I know there's a couple control schemes. I don't know if they actually allow for remapping of the entire controls, but I know there's like 2 or 3 control schemes.
So have you played on the Xbone yet?
Yes.
The problem I've read from, I don't have an Xbone, so I can't play it, but the issue I've read that people are running into is big time frame drops due to 2 things. Either one is achievements. You get an achievement that pops on the screen and can kill your frames. The second, if you're playing like as hell and you're trying changing your stance, particularly in a larger battle, it can kill your frames. And so I've read there's definitely some frame rate issues during, if certain things happen during the game, which can probably get you killed.
Interesting. Well, we can definitely, I'll definitely check it out and play, mess around with it a little bit and see what we can get. But good for Hi-Res Studios. I don't think that I will join in on the alpha draft thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm not. I do play fantasy football. It's kind of just like a ritual at this point. I've been playing it for like 7 years through Yahoo Sports. So I'll probably continue that. But I don't know. I feel like it's a slippery slope with those, you know, those quick turnaround leagues and stuff.
I can see myself. I'm not like a Smart World Championship, and I've seen a couple of matches, and I've got to see and know the players and teams. I could see myself actually putting down some money at that point.
I will immediately draft Barracuda.
Well, the problem with Barracuda, with the way drafting works, it would be like a 1-to-100 odds.
And MC Stealth.
I mean,
give me Barracuda and MC Stealth.
It'd be like 1-to-100. It would be so ridiculous.
I don't think you're going to be able to pull off getting 2 guys from the same team.
Yeah, but they're going to make the odds, so even if you choose them, you'd have to.
Right.
I don't know, but that's their issue, not mine.
Okay, we're going to try something a little bit different here. So hang with us. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about a game called Bob Was Hungry. It has been hello, Okibo. Thank you for some Clash of the Bros. Sorry.
Clash of Bros. I keep on saying Clash of Clans.
Thank you for subbing on our YouTube channel. Now, of course, just real quick, if you want to check out all the videos, all the Thursday Night Hangouts, my Something Slightly Different, all the playthroughs of the games we've played, all the panels and events that we go to, check out Hello Micro Pens 12.
I was thinking Micro Penis, but whatever.
It is, but I think so. But I'm trying to be nice. Okay.
Just read what's on the screen.
So Bob Was Hungry is a game. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Meat Boy, but in a 3D type of environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to switch over to a video. Fingers crossed to see what happens. I apologize. Crap. This is the first time we're going to try this live on the air. So here we go. Bob Was Hungry. Zealeus, I need you to watch this too. I need your thoughts. See, does that not look like Meat Boy, but like in a 3D environment? Oh well. People in the chat room, does this not look like kind of like Super Meat Boy? I feel like there's another game that's kind of like this.
It's a puzzle platform.
It's a puzzle platformer where it's very easy to die, and you can play up to 8. Of your best friends, where you can race or you can. Here we go, right here.
I would break my controller playing this game.
Here we go. Here's the nice thing.
No, I would break something. Okay, I'm terrible at platform and puzzle games.
And this is all about
I would do
Little Big Planet plus Super Meat Boy. I agree, Okubo. I do. Yeah.
I've never been one that has that patience to try that same level 18 times to figure out the exact right time to hit your buttons.
But also notice that it's precision jumping, okay?
Yeah, I would be terrible. This is not my game. I'm gonna be honest.
Alright, we're gonna end it there. Oh, there we go. Bob Was Hungry! Which of course you can currently get it for $9.99 in Steam. It is currently only for Windows. They're talking about bringing it to other platforms.
It's got 170 levels. That's a lot.
Yes, it's got 170 levels. Now, of course, if you buy it now on Steam, you get it for $9.99. If you wait till after September the 2nd, it's going to jump up to $14.99.
So a game that is proud of its extremely difficult stage after stages is not the game for me. I'm going to be honest. I need my simple hack and slash kills.
Yeah, it's one of I think this is Bob Was Hungry. It's one of those type of games.
We are the moderators. Do you see? This is Ultra Confusion. Yeah, well, really, that's Ultra Confusion.
The Bob Was Hungry is one of the is one of those games where it's a badge of honor if you passed that level, and I don't know if that's I mean, that's definitely not the game for me. I too would break something. It's just I like a good puzzle game, but that type of puzzle where it's just like, oh, I missed it by a fraction of an inch. I guess I have to play the whole thing over again. I will hurt.
It looks like the Demon Souls of platformers.
I do want to bring up something. There was a game that we talked about a little bit ago. It's called NovaBlitz. NovaBlitz, of course, is that real-time card game,
yeah,
where basically everyone plays their cards at once. There's a timer, and then all the cards get revealed, and then the round is oh my god, what's the word?
It moves on to the next round.
Right, it gets resolved. What's my favorite type of game? It would be an action adventure game. What's my least favorite game? To be brutally honest, oh man, let's see, my least favorite game.
So my favorite, while he's thinking, my favorite is, I always go back to MMOs in the end. Right now, I'm back on a kick of Final Fantasy XIV and Realm Reborn, which, as you probably can tell, is not an independently developed title. Square Enix is totally not indie. But it's still what I always go back to. That or hack and slash RPGs, like your classic Dungeon Sieges or Diablos. Least favorite.
That's a hard one because I think it really depends on the game. I'm willing to give almost any type of game in any genre a chance. I mean, I'll play text-based games, which sometimes are brutal.
I know.
What?
My least favorite game are those damn Farmville type of games.
Okay, so microtransaction.
No, I don't mind
pay to win. Pay to win?
No, not even pay to win. Just pay to win is is an aspect of all types of gaming, right, be it RPGs or MMOs or anything.
Like games that only allow you to have a certain
amount of energy type, like where you're building stuff, and you have to go back and check like your city every 5 minutes to click on your damn little energy bars or whatever the hell the game has. Those games piss me off.
I agree. So what I do is I do a lot of when I need a break, I do a lot of hidden object games. But when you couple that with only having a specific amount of energy, and then you have to obtain so many points in that certain hidden object level to gain a star, which then could unlock further levels, and then the amount that you have to spend to play one round of this game versus the amount of points required to get a star is just. What's your favorite sandbox? I would have to say my favorite sandbox. I'm gonna have to go with one of the Elder Scrolls. I think I could definitely get myself lost in an Elder Scrolls game.
I don't really play sandbox games. I like games that are a little bit more straightforward. Those games where you get like 8,000 quests and you can be here, there, here, and everywhere. My brain just can't handle it.
That's an MMO, though.
Yeah, but I know, it makes no sense. I know.
It's an MMO! I mean, the only difference is you're playing solo versus in a community.
Okay, I like multiplayer sandboxes. Are you happy?
What 90s game would you want to see remade with today's expectations? Oh, man. Oh, man. Did Master of Magic come out?
I'm about to say Master of Magic.
I'm going to go with Master of Magic.
Okay, so for those who don't know, it's a classic 4X game. The turn-based strategy game like Civilization, only it incorporates elements of magic. You also have 2 planes that you're playing on, and it was created by Microprose. I mean, it's a 90s game. I'm very sure of it. It's an extremely well done turn-based strategy game.
I'm gonna throw up the box art for it because this brings back so many freaking memories for me.
And the fun part of it is there's so many different ways to beat the game because you have different races you can play as.
It's basically like a mythological fantasy version of Civilization.
And versus like Civilization, yes, you have different races, but you know there's different like traits and qualities to your races. But the race that you pick in Master Magic is gonna insanely change the way that you can beat the game.
Right.
Because it changes like what structures you can build, it changes what troops you can build, and then you get heroes, and then you get the hero of the light. I forget what his name is called now, Roland, who just pwns up. There's just because then you can take the magic route or the warfare route. It's extremely well balanced, different way to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a great game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my favorites. Doom 2 is a good game. I could go for that. What year? No, that's 2000. So it'd be Time Splitters.
What? Time Splitters?
Or is it 90s?
Let's see. Time Splitters was originally released in 2000. Oh man, you just missed the cut.
But here's the trick, though. Okay, you take a game like, say, Time Splitters, for instance, right?
God, it's a great game.
And you say,
that whole series was great.
And you say, what are today's expectations? Mm-hmm. Are we talking about gamers' expectations? Are we talking about developers' expectations? Publisher expectations?
Gamer. Well,
Gamer.
Let's not.
I'm just saying because, you know, we have our expectations, but how many games that come out are actually made in the gamers' expectations?
Not a lot now. Well, with the exception of independently developed games.
I'm just saying a lot of games they come out so the publishers can make a lot of money, not necessarily so gamers can enjoy the game. Unless, of course, it's an indie title. So there is that little bit of an issue for me in that question of, you know, there's whose expectations. But I hear what you're saying. Gamer expectations. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, that's why I picked Master of Magic. I think would be mine.
I don't think there's any other game that could...
A classic one for me would be Raptor Call of the Shadows. It's a shoot 'em up shoot 'em up spaceship game, kind of like Galaga or 1954-45, but one of the best shoot 'em up games I've ever played. It's just a classic. It's still a great game, and they've come out with other shoot 'em up games since then, but none of them just had that same feel as far as Raptor goes. It's just one of those classics.
Oh man, that was by Apogee. Apogee also made A10. A10 Tank Killer or something like that.
I don't know that one.
A10. Let's see. Apogee. Man, now you guys are making me pull things out here. No, I don't think I can pull it.
I think you're trying.
Whatever. Okay, I'm trying too hard.
It's all right.
But yeah, there's a ton of games out there. I do find it funny that we pulled 2 PC games. I mean, it shows how things have changed. Well, I don't know.
Diablo came out on one of the consoles.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah,
I never played the console port. I
think it was the PlayStation.
Well, Final Fantasy VII's being remade. Woo!
And
there's much rejoicing.
Look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. If there is a game that causes me to buy the PlayStation 4, it will be FF7. If they do it amazingly, if it's like, I will have to find a way to like sneak over to someone's house who has a PlayStation 4, or maybe go to a brick and mortar store. I know I don't go to one, but I would make an exception. Have you heard of Battle Cats? Battle Cats.
No. Have they said is FF7? Is it going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive?
As far as I know.
Because other Final Fantasies have not been PlayStation exclusives anymore. So I'm just kind of curious about that.
No, I've not heard of Battle Cats.
I know nothing. I've never seen anything about Battle Cats.
But if it's a game that we need to check out,
it looks like
we'll be more than willing to check it.
And it involves cats.
It's on Android
iTunes
and iTunes. So it's a mobile game, a mobile-esque type of game. Interesting.
What about you guys? Do you have any other games?
Yeah, what other games from the 90s would you like to add?
Anything from the consoles? Because we've done a lot of PC games. You know, Dooms, those are all PCs, quality games.
Let's do Hexen. Let's bring back Hexen.
They had George Romano, about 6 months ago. They had an interview with him. I forget who did the interview, but it was a couple of different segments on YouTube where he was interviewed about the original level design of the original Doom. It was absolutely fascinating to Doom.
I think you're thinking of the wrong person.
Who was
George Romano is a horror film guy.
No, who am I?
You're thinking.
What the hell's his name? It's very possible I'm thinking the wrong name. It's been known to happen.
Oh my God.
Romero? John Romero.
Yeah, John Romero.
I was close, whatever. And they talked about his level design. It was kind of interesting because when you look at the game, you know, things back in the 90s that they did, like when you got to the top of the castle and you looked out, and like the actual like distance and different perspectives would change and lighting and stuff like that had never been done before in video games. You look back like now, like, oh, Doom is such a simplistic game. But the things they did back then, it's really fun. If you like Doom, I would go check out John Romero interview on YouTube about his level design. It's really cool. Just to listen to how they came up with this different stuff for his level design. And looking back now, I was always so confused trying to make it through the Doom like levels. Like, I can't find the key and get out of here. But like when they explained, like basically every level is the same, just a little bit bigger. I'm like, oh, it makes so much more sense now and how I could have got through the levels when you put it like that. So definitely check it out.
So if y'all have any other recommendations of games that we need to check out, I've added Battle Cats to a list here so that I can check it out a little bit further after this broadcast. Let me just go back to NovaBlitz real quick. They have Hexen, Descent, Dungeon Keeper were some favorites. Yes, and I never played Dungeon Keeper. But I think, ironically, I have Dungeon Keeper on my Steam because of a summer Steam sale.
Dungeon Keeper is a fun game. I did play that. I remember it being fun, but it was so freaking long ago, I don't remember much about it. I remember I was like, this is a fun game.
Okay, let me throw this in real quick about the NovaBlitz thing. They've made their Kickstarter goal, and they have they've made their Kickstarter goal. I think it's over now, so congratulations to them. Let's just go right into audience topics.
Because you kickstart everything?
NovaBlitz, no, I did not. I kickstarted SnarfQuest, which is by Larry Elmore. Larry Elmore is a comic book artist. Back in like 1982, Dungeons and Dragons was looking for. They had their magazine that came out ever so often.
Oh yeah.
And they were looking to have a comic strip to go along with it, so he created a character called Snarf. And now a company called Cell Block Studios is making a digital version of SnarfQuest. I think they're almost 70% of the way through for their funding, and they still got like 20 days to go. The cool new announcement about that, though, is that they got, if y'all have ever gone to, if y'all have ever gone to YouTube and watched any of the Honest trailers, the voice of Honest trailers is going to be the narrator for SnarfQuest. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to check it out now just because of that. Because Honest trailer,
he's awesome.
He is epic.
Found a PC disc of Diablo 2. Is it a good game? Some would say that Diablo 2 is the best.
Well, it's got to be Diablo 2 Lords of Destruction, technically. The expansion. Well, here's the problem with...
Yes, Sauce Boss, 3321.
Here's the
AndoCon was amazing, and if you weren't there, you should have been there.
We'll get to AndoCon. But going back to Clash of the Bros, I actually, about 2 years ago, I tried playing Diablo 2 on my PC, because I played the hell out of Diablo 2 back in the day. Mm-hmm. The problem is that Diablo 2, at least like the original version, it's capped out at like 800 by 600 graphics. Which means when you're trying to play like in a moderner of like 1650 by 1200 or 1900 by 1200, it kind of looks kind of terrible actually. So that's the problem with Diablo 2, is it has not scaled. Like there's some games that still work today and the graphics are dated, but the actual gameplay is still okay. But the graphics and like the way that the interface works with Diablo 2 is aged terribly with modern resolutions and monitor sizes. Mm-hmm. So that's my problem. If you played any like somewhat modern hacker and slash-ems, it's going to feel extremely outdated. But if you can look past that, I mean, as far as the mechanics of Diablo 2 go, I mean, it's kind of like Charlie said, some would consider it the pinnacle of hack and slash-ems. And I know I played the freaking hell out of it. And yes, sorry, but I'll let Charlie talk about it.
Sauce Boss, I hope that you came to see. I hope that you had a shit ton of fun playing all the games. AndoCon, of course, was a convention that happened this past weekend. It was the main focus, of course, was on board games, card games, basically just gaming in general, not digital.
Pen and pencils.
Pen and pencil RPGs. We actually played a really fun game called Mergers and Acquisitions, which is still in a beta form, but it was still a lot of fun.
No, I like Mergers and Acquisitions.
What's that?
Is okay. One of the problems I went to like Diablo, not Diablo. Good lord, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Like you have to follow the rule set exactly. Like you can't really deviate from the path. You know, you have these exact stats and exact things, and it has to go on correctly with the module. Well, with Mergers and Acquisitions, it's like screw it. Use your imagination, see what happens. I mean, I know you did some freaking entertaining, creative things.
I almost killed myself twice during the game.
But, like, there's certain things Charlie did that we all had a great time at that you wouldn't be able to do in a Dungeons & Dragons type of campaign. And it was that part, and, you know, you still had the basic rule set. You know, you had to roll to, like, attack and roll to dodge and stuff. So you still had the basic pen and pencil things. But it's really up to the gamers and, frankly, the DM to create that experience. It's not like, it's kind of the idea, you know, like some shows, the character drives the plot or the plot drives the character. This was definitely the characters driving the plot. And that's why I liked it so much.
Played Drinking Quest at all? And if so, how was that? Are you talking about What Did I Just Drink? The game by Empire Games. If you did Plasma Gaming TV, if that's the one you're talking about, or if you're talking about was it Oktoberfest? I think was the other one. Oktoberfest was interesting. It just we were a little bit out of sync with that one. But What Did I Just Drink was a fun game. It's basically if you've seen Princess Bride, it's basically the game of wits with the wine. Is it poison? Is it not poison? Did I put the poison in front of me? Did I put the poison in front of you?
But you're playing with a bunch of friends.
Oh no. It's a drinking RPG, kind of like D&D with drinking.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I don't think I must have missed out on it then.
Well, you can drink in The Witcher. Does that count for anything?
Yeah. Aha, thank you, Plasma Gaming TV. I will
click the link.
Oh, wow.
The number one
most followed tabletop RPG on Twitter.
Huh.
Yay.
Interesting.
Is this all Drinking Quest games come with 3 extra cards signed by series creator Jason Anarchy.
Okay, so here's a question about, because I'm assuming you played the Drinking Quest game. Is this a game that actually encourages people to drink, or does it just incorporate facets of drinking into the game? That's my key question about this.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because, like, you know, playing the drinking game we were talking about.
Oh, dang it.
Like, you don't have... You could easily make it into a drinking game where, like, every time you have a toast, you have to drink.
But I love the fact... But the thing in the rules for What Did I Just Drink?
Tells you not to.
Is, like, we do not... As a company, we do not condone that you drink along with this game. We also definitely do not condone poisoning your opponent's drinks while playing this game. Absolutely encourages people to drink. It's in the rules.
Nice.
That would be fun. I would definitely want to play with a specific set of people. I wouldn't want to play with strangers.
Yeah.
But it might be interesting.
Interesting.
I will add it to my list.
I like it. Is it drinking? Oh, wait. Will we didn't tabletop, bro.
Oh, well, in that case.
There you go. Now you have to check it out.
Drinking Quest, right? Yes.
Yes.
Let's see here. What else do we want to talk about? Audience, do you have any other topics or questions you would like to talk about, or would you like us to continue?
So, do you have other thoughts? While they're thinking, do you have other thoughts about AndoCon and our experience at the con of Andos?
One of the things, of course, that I'm always going to harp on, and because we give panels, is that as much as I loved having the game show thing going on constantly, because of where the panels are being held, and where the game show is happening, you have to have both the doors open so people know that they can come in and out, and the sound carries it into the other rooms, so that was a little bit annoying. What I would like to see, in a perfect world, first of all, come to AndoCon. It's happening March 11th through 13th, 2016. It's happening once again at the Atlanta Perimeter Marriott. Of course, that means it's in Atlanta, Georgia. If you can get there, get there. But the one thing I would love to do, they had like a live Twitch feed going on the entire time. I would love to see that live Twitch feed. Okay, let's do 2 live Twitch feeds. Have one that does the live gaming, but let's put that one in the testing room.
Okay.
And then have a live Twitch feed in the room that it's in, but have that be the panel room. So not only because you've now separated yourself from the game show room, which I have no problem with. It's just very loud, but you're also allowing other individuals to watch it, and it could be very interesting to drive some of the topics.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, fill a panel with virtual guests instead of just depending on individuals to go into the panel room. Because one of the biggest...
Well, they did that for one of them. One of the panels was virtual. Was the guy Skyped in for it?
Okay, so the one that Skyped in, right? But it was still he just Skyped in.
I mean, it's kind of that
Twitch.
idea.
It wasn't Twitch. It didn't have the audience.
I like that idea though.
But anyways, let's see here. What else can we talk about? There was a story that broke. Since we're talking, we were talking about. Gosh, I love alcohol. Who doesn't? I mean, come on, who doesn't?
I have nothing not nice to say about that. Like everything I can think of is terribly inappropriate. So I have no answers.
Let's talk about one other. Actually, hell, I'm going to bring up one cool thing. There was a game that I played on the iOS a little bit ago called Ski Safari 2, and I kind of forgot about it, and I just put it back on my phone. I've been playing it like nonstop because I was at a doctor's appointment, and the doctor was behind by an hour and 15 minutes, so I was there for a long time, so I got to play a lot of Ski Safari. Ski Safari, of course, is a...
I refuse to play any form of Monopolies.
Oh, God, I know.
I will kill myself first.
The only way that I play Monopoly is that I'm the banker, and I cheat, so...
I still don't like it.
So, anyways, Ski Safari is basically a how would you put Ski Safari? It's basically you're constantly going downhill. It's a side scroller type deal. You're trying to dodge rocks, and of course there's an avalanche coming behind you if you slow down too much. It's like a temple run type.
You know what the graphics look like?
What's that?
Angry Birds.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to give you a quick little look at the trailer for Ski Safari 2. So hold on. Uno momentos.
Well, you know my problem with looking at Ski Safari? I can only think of one thing.
What's that?
Ski free.
Yes.
I just can't ski.
So you can ride on penguins. You can ride on yetis. Let's see here. Wolves. Looks like, okay, they got a couple different locations that you can play. You can grab drinking in Mario Kart.
Well, yes.
Well, of course. There's nothing wrong with drinking in Mario Kart. There's never going to be
There's
anything
everything
wrong.
right in drinking with Mario Kart. As long as you're not actually karting in real life.
Yes, yes. Drinking and driving is only acceptable when it's virtual driving.
Amen to that.
And it's a hell of fun. If you really want a hard-ass time, do it Rainbow Road.
No. I can't do Rainbow Road sober.
Yeah.
I just fall off every 10 feet and just break a bottle over my head. It's been known to happen. Rainbow Road, man.
Well, it's just like drinking and Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but you can really smash your friend over the head then when they piss you off enough.
That's true. I could just like nunchuck the controller and...
Yeah.
Yeah, Rainbow Road would cause maybe potential throw up because it is lots of light colors and depending on how fast you're consuming your alcohol, it could definitely...
Should have like a warning sign.
Mm-hmm. Is there a warning sign? Because I feel like Rainbow Road would cause epilepsy.
No, I've never seen. I don't remember seeing a warning sign for the Rainbow Road. Mm-hmm. And the original is still the toughest. The N64 version, or Super Nintendo. I mean. Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Because Super Nintendo was like fake 3D. It wasn't real 3D.
Yeah, but you had 0 walls, and then you start putting like walls in some places.
Because they could do a lot more.
It's all about the no walls, man. No walls. It's like no scoping.
Yeah, that drives me nuts. There's certain games out there that still don't do no scoping. I'm just like,
so you don't play Counter Strike is what you're saying?
Okay, Counter-Strike is too real for me, okay? It's like, I'm bleeding from the leg, and I'm dead.
So, I have games getting to that point for you to then, where they're almost becoming potentially too realistic, and they're losing their fun for you?
I don't play really realistic.
Like Tomb Raider is pretty freaking realistic.
Yeah, but there's still that, for me personally, there's still that element of fantasy in there where I can kind of separate myself. If I'm playing Counter-Strike, I feel like I'm running through, generic town, whatever, and no.
No, is it because of the type of graphics they use, or
Jesus.
is it the actual gameplay?
It's the gameplay. Okay. One beer per lap. That would be a very short play session because people would be puking their guts out.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Days versus H1Z1. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I am zombied out. There's just so many freaking survival zombie things, and as long as Walking Dead's on TV, they're gonna continue to make those games. And
I haven't played neither of them on my radar. They're just not my cup of video games that I'm playing.
The only zombie game that I've really I almost lied. There's 2 zombie games I've played. One of them is called Dying Light, and the other one is called Dead Trigger 2, which of course is for your Android device, which is a lot of fun.
The last zombie game I really got into is Left 4 Dead, the original with Zoe, with my friends.
Yes. Left 4 Dead 1 was good. The second one was, in my mind, so rushed, and it literally all what happened in Left 4 Dead 2 should have just been like a DLC pack that was added on.
Well, we played so much because we came from a Team Fortress 2 clan, and then all of a sudden, not Days of Life, good lord, Left 4 Dead came out, and so all of our clan basically moved over to playing L4D. We had a lot of fun playing it, but I was just like, okay, I'm tired of zombies now.
Yeah.
I've had enough of you, man.
I agree.
So, and they're just not, I'm mostly, I'm either playing the indie games or my MMOs. Or thinking about nostalgic games, like Master of Magic.
Oh, Master of Magic.
Oh, man.
So, a question to the audience. Do you think that we are oversaturated with zombie games, or are you totally cool with the Dead Island and?
It's like zombies in video games and then vampires on TV. It's like the oversaturation of supernaturals. Everywhere you look, there's a supernatural. I'm still waiting for a vampire to show up on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Well, the show's already jumped the shark, so you never know. So
you just admitted you watched Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, I've watched all of Grey's Anatomy that there's to watch. There's nothing wrong with this.
All right then. Alrighty.
Hey, I'm fully in touch with my inner self.
Sure.
I watched that Vampire Diaries. All right. I hold no claim to superiority when it comes to shitty television shows.
Okay. Real quick, we are going to bring up one other type of topic, and of course, if you, the audience, wants to jump in or perhaps change directions, we're totally up for that. There's this fantastic thing called Fig that has appeared. Depends on the game. There's a lot of arcade-esque zombie games, but I am partial to hardcore PvP zombies. So, oh damn it! There's oh my god, what's the game that does? I mean, Left 4 Dead does it, right?
Yeah, well, that's PvP.
But no,
it's not PvP, but it's PvP.
But you could be the survivors of the zombies.
Yeah. No, yes, you're right. I was thinking of what's that Ouya game we kept on playing now versus the zombies. We had Guns, Gore, and Cannoli was one of them. And then you had that second one, which was basically like Smash TV. You know what I'm talking about?
Hold on, let me think. So you had Guns, Gore, and Cannoli. You also had we also played Age of Zombies, which was
what's a fad?
No.
Yes, what's
a fad? He
said,
I'll pass, just a fad. And I said, what's a fad?
The zombies are a fad.
The zombies are a fad?
That's what he's saying, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because it could be in reference to what we had on the screen.
The zombies are all we have on the screen.
It says FIG, where investors share profits.
Oh, right. I'm pretty sure it's the zombies.
Age of Zombies was one of them. That was the one by the Jetpack company, where it's literally it's a dual joystick where you're moving with one and shooting in different directions with the other joystick.
But that's all PvE. There's no personal versus persons in that game at all.
Right. And then Gun, Score, and Cannoli was cooperative. You weren't going to play the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. When you think of indie games, you don't see a lot of PvP indie games. They're
you
all.
Want to know why?
Please do tell.
Because it's hard as balls to do networking right.
That makes sense.
And you would have to host it. You would have to find a way to host the games.
A lot of extra cost.
Yes.
Sorry, man. We need GameSpy back.
Oh, Lord.
So I can play my Neverwinter Nights on their little servers.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was a good game.
Mm-hmm. FIG. FIG is it's a bunch of the bigger name developers who have done Kickstarter projects have decided that they are joining forces to create a new place that's like Kickstarter, but it's going to be heavily curated by the powers that be that are going to hold over this. But if that game gets through the vetting process, you as a funder you're actually investing money into the game, and then from they haven't worked out all the logistics right now. I think you've got to like submit donate or sorry invest $1,000 in order for this
and you
to
have to have $1 million in net assets.
Right. So they're trying to work out little loopholes and whatever. I think it's awesome, but I think it's gonna be crazy as hell to try to figure out all this stuff.
I like it because one of my things with like a Kickstarter or early access, those,
I want to see the contract.
As I always feel like doing like the other ones, it's almost like a gamble on the game. It's like, I hope this product comes out well. I don't really know what's going to come out. I just always felt hesitant of those because it's like, what am I really getting out of this just by basically donating money early to it? Where I have other things like the Red Cross I could donate my money to. Versus if you do something like FIG, it's more like you're almost like investing in that game via like almost like a stock market potentially, where it's you're banking on that game to actually succeed and become profitable, which you can then make money off of. And to me, that's why it's more intriguing. Of course, I don't have $1 million in net assets, so it's kind of irrelevant to me at the moment.
Hold on one second. One of my issues. Because, okay, I'm going to look at this from a business point of view, okay? When you have investors that put into a game, it makes it really, really difficult unless the language of the contract, I know I'm getting really technical and I apologize, I might lose some people, but it gets really, really complicated for the creators, the developers, to actually retain rights once investors get into the picture. So let's say that the game is awesome and they try to make another one. Well, you have investors. Investors own a piece of the pie, and if enough of the investors say no, you can't make this game, then the developers are SOL because it's no longer their property because they basically allowed it, and that's how you do it. Right, you have to answer to the investors. That's my issue. That's my one fear about this. Unless the contract is, but at the same time, the only way that this would work is if the contract is basically for revenue sharing. So
that's what it sounds like it is.
Okay,
sounds like
right, but it gets really, really complicated. There's a lot of red tape, and if you lots of creativity, absolutely. That's something that for me as a potential developer scares the crap out of me because it could be a smashing success, and I also know that I am not going to be. The one beautiful thing about FIG is that because it's curated, that means that the shitty games that are trying to basically pull the wool over individuals' eyes will not get through the process. That being said, the games that do get through, they may lose all creative rights in the end. And that, to me, I'm going to go to Kickstarter.
Well, I also look at the people who are already behind Fig, and they're part. I mean, they're already part of that gaming community. Like you said, they've already kind of been involved in these Kickstarter projects, and they seem like the kind of people who wouldn't want that to happen to the games who are part of Fig. It seems like they'd be the ones who'd be watching out to make sure that they don't basically lose all creative rights to their games.
I don't know. This could be, and I'm not saying that this is the case, but this could be a very interesting collaborative publishing scheme where they actually donate the most money, so they actually have creative control of future iterations. I don't know. I'm not. I'm completely rumor.
But when you're an investor, it just changes the entire dynamic of crowdfunding when you're now having actual investment in that game versus just like, hey, give me money and, well, you don't own a stake in my game anyway, so who cares? It just completely changes the dynamic of crowdfunding.
I mean, you take well, technically, you could do that. I mean, you could follow that suit with MMOs. You're paying them to play the game, and they're adding content to it, but you're not getting anything in return. They're continuously evolving the game.
Yeah, but that game is already out. It already has been released. I'm already playing what is out.
I don't know. There are games out there that are in beta that sometimes people will invest in so that they can get it. Minecraft for one.
But that's what you hate so much is early access.
Okay, Minecraft gave you the thing about early access is that when early access usually happens, they're looking for you to pay them to be beta testers. Minecraft was a pretty established thing. They just wanted to make sure that that they ironed out all the kinks. You knew that if Minecraft had stopped, people would still love it. With a lot of these early access games, they're just absolute shit, and they need money to help make it less shitty or maybe awesome. Who knows? I want to know more about Fig. I hope that it's a great thing. I really do, and fingers crossed that it is the developer's dream world. But from the business point of view, there, especially when you introduce investors, there's a lot of crazy ass shit that could go down.
True that.
So we'll see. Okay. Ooh, I did that. Okay. Let's get back to the audience. If the audience has any
information or
thoughts,
questions,
perhaps topics they want to talk about, or if you want to learn more about Alter Confusion, we'll talk about more about that. I almost, while we're waiting for the audience, I was this close to logging into Defiance last night. But
are you still watching Defiance on TV at all?
No, I'm so freaking behind.
I'm up to the.
In regards to money, do you think paid DLC will ever go away?
No. It's here to stay.
It's going to become more prevalent. I know that it seems very prevalent now, but it's going to become more prevalent in further iterations of AAA titles. The fact of the matter is, wow, I say that phrase a lot. Do you notice that? Mm-hmm. Here's the deal. AAA titles are going to simplify their games, the size of their games down. You're going to see more of a multiplayer atmosphere because it costs a shit ton of money to do single-player games. Devs make way too much money. Actually, the reason why you put DLCs in there is so that devs can continue to make money. Because if you now we're going back to business 101 here. But the way that it breaks down right now, let's just stick with digital distribution, okay? Let's just make it really easy because it gets really crazy when you add brick and mortar stores.
Let's start with $7.
let's shut up. Stop giving me $7. Okay, so here's the deal. The breakdown is as follows. If you have a publisher, if you're a AAA title, you've got a AAA publisher and then you're a developer. Either you're in the company or that publisher is creating it for you. Usually it's a 70-30 split. The publisher gets 70% of the profit, 30% goes to the developers. Now, depending on how the contract is worded, it's either you either get royalties after a certain amount or you get a flat fee for making the game, and then you get there's no bonuses built into it. So with the DLC, what happens is because the percentages because the amount of money for DLCs is smaller, and there's a chance for more and quicker continuous. when you make it bite-sized purchases, you're more likely to continue to sell stuff, be it skins, extra weapons, vehicles, maps, different gaming modes. It's one of those things, and we go into this often about microtransactions. It's one of those things that once the consumer has bought once for this game, they're gonna continue to do it. It's watching a rock roll downhill. It's like a snowball that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. My greatest example, of course, is Marvel Puzzle Quest, where you can play for free. But if you want to get a bigger roster, to get more heroes and villains to add to the game, of course, you're going to pay some real money so you can get the special coin currency and blah, 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 blah. So for DLC, it's basically the same lines. You want to have that pretty looking armor, that special camo print, extra levels, additions to the game. It's kind of like a dirty... it's like you have a standalone game and then they could release episodic content, but they don't call it episodic content.
It's an easy way for developers to add on extra content to make more money is what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Because they already have the game created, and just to add on a new mount that costs $10, it's not a whole lot of work when you consider your rate on investment.
Well, the other thing is that the developers can also release less and then get more money in the long run.
Oh, you're not going to hear any disagreements from us.
Pay-to-wins are something that I think that are plaguing the video game market. Absolutely.
Here's my problem that I get to with pay-to-wins is it's one thing if it's literally pay-to-win where if you can grind to win. But what seems like happens with a lot of these pay-to-win games is you end up having to pay to win. It's not just as simple as like, oh, you could still do it normally. Whereas now, in order to really kind of see what's going to happen in that game and really get far, you really have to pay to play that content.
Right.
That's what's driving me nuts about pay to win is you now have to, yeah, it's free to play, but really to play any more than like 10 hours in the game, you're going to have to pay. And
it's not a one-time deal. It's not like it's an ongoing thing. You will get to a certain World of Tanks. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't played World of Tanks.
I played World of Tanks with a buddy back. It was probably about 2 years ago I played some World of Tanks. We didn't pay. He actually is he's probably one of the few people who is like in the top 1% guilds of the world, and Clash of Clans is not paid a penny in that game. Yeah. Which is very hard to do.
Wow.
That's very...
a serious grind.
Yes, it's very, very rare that you find somebody who's going to be able to... What?
Is it Mason?
No.
Oh.
No. I haven't tapped that guy in for a long time, but that's extreme minority of somebody Clash of Clans or World of Tanks and not pay any money to be in that top tier. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, that's what drives me nuts, especially in PvP type of games. Like a lot of those world building type of games, on the iPhone or Android, where it's like, come play against your friends and enemies. You start with a shield for 2 days. Mm-hmm. But after those 2 days, unless you've paid $100, you're going to get annihilated by everybody else who's paid $100. Mm-hmm. And that's what really pisses me off a lot about the microtransaction movement is now you're paying. It's one thing paying to play in a single player game, but now you got mandatory PvP, and it's just no.
Right, and the thing is, with all these pay-to-wins, is that, like I said, it's an avalanche effect. Once you've paid once, you're probably going to continue to pay over and over again, and that's where you get into serious trouble. And that's where, if you have children, you make sure that their games are not attached to your credit card because they will think that they're just playing with funny money when they're.
Or you can do it on your iPhone. If I have a kid and I have an iPhone, I'm only purchasing stuff with Apple gift cards, for instance, because you can have the non-monetary transaction option. So say even hypothetically speaking, they got your password, they still would need you to have your credit card on top of that because you set you set it to none. Mm-hmm. So that's why I always tell parents, for instance, at school, I'm like, your kid might have Apple ID, but never ever set up a credit card with that Apple ID. Just buy $10 gift cards, and boom, there you go. That's all you need.
And to be honest with you, that's actually the safest way to do it.
Regardless, even if you don't
regardless, be in any platform, gift cards are the best.
Very true.
Human psychology, absolutely. it's a repetition thing. You get used to it, and you get that sense of accomplishment because you get that boost, that rush of, oh man, I just achieved the next level.
The carrot approach.
Absolutely.
But the other thing that pisses me off too, though, is especially we talk about on the App Store and how shitty the gaming market is because the crap rises to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with the crap rising to the top, it's not necessarily that it's crap, is so many of the games, they're all so similar in game style. They either take that Clash of Clans, that Farmville, or that Hero Quest type of, where you got 5 cards on the battle and they fight each other. They don't come with anything original with these microtransaction games. They're all the same iteration of other games that have already done the same thing, almost with new skins. I mean, look at these games. It's like, wait, those graphics are literally stolen from Clash of Clans or literally stolen from World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Like, that is a paladin, man, from World of Warcraft. And that's what's really nauseating, is you lose a lot of that originality. I mean, you have games out there that are original on all platforms. But you get those games that have the advertising budgets of millions of dollars because they have a big-time publisher. And it's just like, oh. You're right, G. Jocker, blah, 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 blah. That's
Jack Rabbit.
Thank you.
Jack Rabbit SLM.
Sure. That's why I play MMOs, because damn it, they do carrots well in MMOs.
Absolutely.
I need my next shiny armor.
Mm-hmm. You need your epic loot drop.
Hell yeah, I want my fat purples, man.
And I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know what it is, but I have literally been watching the Guild over and over and over again, and like I'm like, well, okay, first of all, I know that, I mean, hell, this has to do with games anyways. If you have not picked up Felicia Day's book, you're never weird on the internet almost. It's an awesome book. I read it in 3 sittings. Freaking phenomenal.
Rock on. I'm gonna have to pick it up because I
want to
learn about how weird I am.
And while talking about books, check out Lion of Rora. Our buddy, our friend, amazing artist Jackie Lewis illustrated that. Okay, now back to the games. I hate to say this, but we're gonna see more of this carrot approach. And it sucks, but
it's also worked. I mean,
right, absolutely, right.
The hardcore guys, you talk to hardcore gamers, and by and large, we hate it. But if you also think of what percentage of the population are the hardcore gamers, we're in this pretty small minority.
Right.
Now you look at the people who are playing all your iPhone games like Candy Crush and all those games. Guess what? They're our parents, man. They're the kids in schools. They're all those people who. They have an entirely different mentality of gaming, but now you have this entire segment of people who are playing video games that never did before because it's for casual noobs, man. Casual noobs.
Well, the other thing is a lot of the gaming trends that we see now for individuals who've been playing games for, say, 25 years. I'm just throwing a number out there. I mean, could be.
24.
25 for me. I'm just saying. Random number. We were used to a certain type, and now the individuals who are playing games are used to this microtransaction you to death type of deal, and some people shy away from it, and other people love it. A game that I played the crap out of that definitely has microtransactions in it, if you want, is a game called Hexablast. It's for the iPhone. It's also on Facebook. It's literally the match 3, but with a hex grid. It's a lot of fun, and I'm on level, I think, hold on, I will tell you what level I'm on.
And I now have Battle Cats in my iPhone.
2004. 204.
I'm going to say 2004?
Yeah. Do you think casual gamers are more likely to transition to more serious players? Okay, so I'm not going to say that soccer moms are going to become elite LOL players, but I think that there is the potential, depending on the level of game, I could see them escalating to. See, here's the thing. What do you consider a serious player? Are you saying that you put a lot of time into your games?
They're playing Mass Effect.
Are they okay?
They're playing Mass Effect. That to me would make you so much serious game.
Well, let's say that you've got your iPhone game or your Facebook game, and you spend 12, 14 hours with But wouldn't you agree that the hardcore gamer is becoming more and more common? I mean, it seems as though you can find anyone who deeply
okay.
loves
When I
the
say
game.
we just for saying what does make that hardcore gamer,
right?
And maybe a hardcore gamer isn't the right terminology because you're right. You can play 100 hours in Candy Crush. I probably don't consider you a hardcore gamer. I'm sorry, man.
I think they're hardcore Candy Crush players.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about like if someone plays Candy Crush enough, are they going to jump into like a Mass Effect or a Halo? Probably not, because it's a totally different genre jump.
But what I could see is, so you're a soccer mom, right? And you're playing Candy Crush on your iPhone. And all of a sudden you see your kid playing, say, Mario Kart on the Nintendo Wii or the Wii U. I think you might be more inclined to go jump onto Mario Kart and play it as a soccer mom because you played some form of video game on your iPhone than you would be otherwise. So I think in that regard, you might not pick it up on your own, but I think you might be more incentivized to play it if there's other people doing it too, whereas before you would not have even touched the game.
Right. I think for me personally, I grew up with a dad who played a lot of point-and-click adventures. Now, of course, it was in a competitive spirit. It was me and my dad against one of his coworkers and their son, and we tried to complete the game as fast as possible. Now, that being said, he was never going to try, any of the crazy stuff, but that was literally the gateway to years later. He picked up Diablo, and then Diablo 2, and then Baldur's Gate, and Baldur's Gate 2, and then all the expansion, then Icewind Dale 2, Neverwinter Nights. He didn't like Neverwinter Nights, though. It was a little bit. It was the camera angles that threw him off.
I think when I think of hardcore gamer, I think he's somebody whose primary gaming platform is not a mobile device. That's not counting the Nintendo Wii or Nintendo 3. I'm thinking somebody
3DS.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can play MOBAs on your cell phone now.
Okay, there's always an outlier. I'm saying, for the most part, someone who's most predominant mode of playing video games is either like via Steam or GOG or your console, because you can't play Facebook games on your PC. But I don't count that as hardcore gaming. So that's what I think of as a hardcore gamer. Somebody who's playing a little bit more in-depth game with storylines.
Plasma Gaming TV says, as each generation grows up, video games and gamers are more and more the norm. I mean, you look at Dota and Call of Duty and LoL, the pros are getting to be 16 and even younger. Dota, Call of Duty, and LoL. Okay, so Dota and LoL, you need, well, actually, hell, even Call of Duty, you need that mad Twitch skill.
There's an age issue.
Youth benefits from that because they're getting faster.
Yeah. You gotta have that Ritalin, man.
Adderall.
I like Ritalin.
Which, of course, has been banned now from professional leagues.
Unless you have I'm sure you have to. If you have a doctor's notice, you have to let you though.
No. You have to.
I'd be very surprised if you didn't have. If you had a doctor's orders.
No. You can be on Adderall, but leading up to a competition, you cannot take it within a certain amount of time. Adderall is one of those things that literally coax you out for a finite amount of time. So some
people need that on a regular basis, man. I'm not telling you who.
I'm just saying that you can on a regular basis, but during a game tournament, you're not going to be allowed to take it within a certain amount of your game time.
But if you need Adderall, like, say, every day, and you can't take it during the gaming, isn't that then a detrimental effect to your gameplay ability if that's what you need to be at your absolute best?
Yes, okay. It is. It's just like HGH, human growth hormone. To be at your best at football, you need some HGH so that.
But there's people who can't really function well without Adderall. People can function well without HGH.
Not in some sports, you need it.
No, I'm saying on an actual psychological level.
All right, Plasma Gaming TV, but it seems odd when I go to Major League Game Columbus. I saw multiple teams of 12-year-olds going deep into brackets. It was crazy to see these kids beat some pro teams. Okay, so there's.
Were we any different?
Well, here's the other thing is, and I'm gonna be like old man, get off my lawn right now, for a moment. That is, 12-year-olds have a shit ton more time than older individuals. We have jobs, and I understand that there are individuals out there who are professional gamers who who are in their 20s or whatever, and they continue to do that. They are lucky. But a lot of the really good gamers have a lot more time on their hands because they have, school. They don't have the responsibilities of paying for mortgages, electric, and all that stuff.
But I also think, I don't know if necessarily the hardcore gamer, like you're saying, the awesome video gamers are younger. I just don't think when we were that age that we had that platform to show off our mad video game skills.
Well, the online environment was not.
I mean, we had freaking GoldenEye in the basement, man. That's where we got our hardcore gaming on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I definitely think, as far as those games go, it definitely pays to be younger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Because you're also going to be training on those games a lot sooner.
I played Heroes of the Storm last week. I just stopped playing after 3 matches because I could not move my wrist.
Carpal tunnel.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The thing is, if you're like a 12-year-old, you've got to, most pro teams have I think it starts at 16 and then up. So you've got 4 years before you can become a pro. Whereas, someone like me, I'd have to figure out the game immediately to make my mark. Because if I wait 4 years, I might as well just wheel myself up in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm going to be old.
And there are colleges now that do offer actual scholarships for esports, for particularly MOBA games at the moment. It's coming, people. It's coming.
It's bragging rights. I mean, that's really what it is. That's what the scholarships are for.
Yeah,
they're bragging rights. Now, of course, you look at the professional gaming houses over in Japan versus the U.S., and it's not even a fucking contest. Japan's nuts.
Those people are crazy, man, crazy. Mm-hmm. They got nothing on me.
Though, as of when we saw the Smite World Championship, the U.S. was still the best because the U.S. got to play the game for 2 or 3 more years than South America or Japan. But I think that, or Korea. But I'm pretty sure that next time the world. We need to find out what the date is for I want to go back. I want to go back to the Smite World Championship and see if Cloud9, the team that was Cognitive Red, can kick some more ass. Continue to kick ass.
Hell yeah.
Because that was a lot of fun. Any last questions from the audience out there? It's been awesome to give this back and forth conversation. This is what we love about doing these Thursday Night Live Hangouts. Of course, we do this. Why does it say 20? Oh, never mind. You got military time.
Military time, bro.
We do this every Thursday, with very little exception. And of course, if you miss any part of our show, or if you want to tell anyone about our show, you can always go to our YouTube channel, which is Altered Confusion. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put where the hell? Yeah, I'll just whatever.
Just leave it.
I'll leave it. Of course, we've got a Twitter feed, Alter Confusion Yo. That's Alter Confusion without the O. We're on Facebook, and of course, you can go to www.alteredconfusion.com. That, of course, is our homepage to give you the amazing stuff about independently developed games and also some normal video game stuff. Evil Geniuses took home TI5, which shocked the Dota world.
I could never get into Dota. Too much meta for me.
I'm going to be honest with you. The only time I played Dota was when it was actually a mod in
World of Warcraft 3. Not World
Warcraft 3.
Yeah,
was it in StarCraft first?
I don't remember. It was one of those. But I played in Warcraft 3. My problem with that's one of the reasons I like Heroes of the Storm. Mm-hmm. It's literally a dumbed down version of League of Legends or Dota 2. Mm-hmm. But that's one of the reasons I like it. Like, the meta is literally figuring out, oh, hey, there's an event happening on the screen. I should probably attack that event. Mm-hmm. There's your meta. It's like, it's like, dude, man, go attack the harpies at 2 minutes. No, go mid, clear it. No, it's just a totally different game.
Thank you, Jack Rabbit and Plasma Game TV. Tell your friends. We like I said, we do this every Thursday, and we love audience participation. We literally throw out our script when the audience gets involved, because
I don't have a script, so yeah.
Okay, fine. I throw out the script.
My script is drinking beer.
Oh Lord. Let's see here. Is there any closing thoughts we want to bring to the table?
I think it's about that time, yo.
I know. Let me just say a couple things real quick. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, just hit up the Ultra Confusion page, the About Us section. I'm Charlie. He's Zealeus. Actually, I can bring that back up here. There we go. Actually, it's reversed. That's Zealeus. I'm Charlie. Ever think about doing Skype calls with fans? We would like to potentially in the future do Google Hangouts, but Skype calls could also work. Yeah, that would be fun.
There are options.
You
know what else works is Adobe Connect.
I don't do Adobe stuff.
Yeah, but as far as doing like conferencing stuff like that, it works actually well. But that's what schools use to like do like whatever. That's but there are options. That's a good idea though.
Actually, hold on. This is gonna bother the crap on me. So we're gonna keep going for just a second here so that I can switch this up. My OCD is getting to me. There we go. But anyways, let me know, guys. I have a good time with it. Okay, cool. Go over, hit us up, give us your info, and we'll definitely reach out to you. Also, I meant to say this before. I did something slightly different, and I'll say this in the Thursday Night Hangout. If you want to help out Ultra Confusion in any shape or form, we are looking for help, be it articles, getting our words, getting the word out about some of the stuff we're doing. You want to help with reviews, whatever aspect of Ultra Confusion, we're looking for help. I think that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank everyone who watched this video live, this broadcast live, and of course all the individuals who are going to. Hello.
You hit us as we're signing off!
Yes. X4MX infamous spat. Our
normal podcast is from 8 till 9:15 Eastern time, and it's 9:17 Eastern time.
So unfortunately we have to log out. But I'm going to try to stream something after this. I'm going to do probably some Defiance. I'm going to be totally honest with you. That's the easiest one for me to play. If I'm feeling really frisky, then it'll be Smite. But anyways, I want to thank everyone who tuned into the live show, and then of course all the individuals out there who are going to watch the recording of this broadcast. So for myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure to give you the crazy stuff coming out of our mouths, and of course the amazing information that the audience, of course, has helped us give to you, and of course any of the stuff that we came prepared for. So for myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, we will see you next Thursday for another Thursday Night Hangout.
At 7 o'clock Central Time. And remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Same difference.